Hi, this is Patrick from Software Mention. If you're watching this, it probably means you want to or tried to implement Brownfield in your React Native project. While Brownfield is a simple way to, for example, incrementally adopt React Native into your project, its setup is not so simple. It requires adding various files, directories, and updating the project and build configurations to properly include them. This becomes especially problematic in Expo projects that use continuous native generation, as those steps would have to be added manually and will be overwritten on every prebuild. Of course, you can try to commit the changes and to not regenerate the project, but it's kind of an anti-pattern and contradicts the idea of CMG. So that's why, after implementing Brownfield in a dozen of apps at Software Mention, we figured out there has to be a better way. Expo Brownfield Target is a library which simplifies and automates extending your Expo project with all of those files, directories, and build configurations needed to build and ship it as a Brownfield. It also comes with a built-in CLI which reduces the build process to just a single command for each of the platforms, and built-in APIs for common use cases like navigation and communication between the apps. To add the plugin to your project, simply install the npm package and then make sure to include it in your app.json or appconfig.js or appconfig.ts file. You can just add it to the plugins array, or you can pass some additional configuration options like target names, package identifiers, or bundle identifiers. You can find the full reference of configurable options in the documentation on GitHub. You can also modify the templates which are used to generate the Brownfield projects by explicitly overwriting them in your app. Please keep in mind that some of the templates include injected values, which are resolved during the file generation. So if you change any of them, make sure you keep an eye on those values so that nothing breaks. Once the prebuild is finished and the native projects are generated, the iOS directory should contain an additional target that has all needed files and is set up to build the Expo app as a Brownfield. We can then use the CLI to build this target. Run npx expo brownfield target build iOS in your terminal, and once it's finished, our Brownfield target should be shipped as an exe framework along with Hermes exe framework. You can then distribute them using Swift Package Manager, or just simply include them in your native project. The Brownfield exe framework includes both UIKit and Swift UI entry points, which you can use to embed the React Native app within your project. Similar to iOS, once the prebuild is finished, the Android directory contains additional library, which includes all needed files and is set up to ship the app as a Brownfield. Let's run npx expo brownfield target build Android, and once it's over, our app should be shipped as a single AAR file. By default, it should also be published to the local Maven repository. We can then add the dependency to our native project and include the React Native fragment in our app. To sum it up, Expo Brownfield Target automatically extends your native projects with additional targets and configurations needed to ship your Expo app as a Brownfield. It comes with a built-in CLI that simplifies the build process to just one command for each platform, and built-in APIs for common use cases like communication or navigation between the apps. For full reference of the CLI, the APIs, usage guide, and manual setup guide if you're not using CMG in your project, make sure to check out the library's GitHub page. The library is currently in early development, so if you spot any issues or feel like it's missing any features or customization options, please let us know. If you run into any problems with integrating React Native into your project, you can always reach out to us. You can find the details and the GitHub repository link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching and happy building! For more content like this, be sure to follow Software Mention.